WJCU!
And now for the Frenzy, powered by Savannah State University. You can get anywhere from here.
Welcome to the Frenzy, everyone. As always, powered by Savannah State University. I'm Stephanie Farad, and I'm on my own once again tonight as Frank made his way with the Georgia Southern Eagles to Annapolis, Maryland, where the Eagles are set to take on Navy tomorrow afternoon in what some publications are calling one of the most interesting matchups this weekend in college football. But we're here from Frank in just a little bit, but first, it's playoff time underway here at the Coastal Empire and Low Country. In all, 15 squads from the area were laying it all on the line tonight, as it would be win or go home. Big games not only in the GHSA but also in the GISA. In just a little bit, we'll have the bearded one, Dave Williams, on set. But first, we head to Jessup, where the Chevy Tailgate Tour made a stop for the Yellow Jackets' AA matchup against Eagles Landing.
Always good for us at Lee Smith to get out into the community and support our athletes.
Well, it would be a defensive battle in this one. All the fans dressed up in their Christmas attire. We're going to start things off on fourth down for the Eagles. Nizia Buggs with a big-time sack to turn over the ball for the Eagles and give the ball to the Yellow Jackets. But a few plays later, this play looks doomed just from the start. Nick Bells is going to scramble and throw it, but this one's going to be picked off by Antonio Gibson, so the Eagles get it right back. First play for the Eagles, Terrence Bennett with the pick. And he's going to find some room, and he'll be taken down eventually, but the Jackets unable to convert on fourth down, so they'll give the ball back. Bells, he would get injured. So here is Seth Clary in. He goes deep to number 90, but he's not able to wheel this one in. Too bad, because he was wide open. Later on, Eagles Mac McDonald airing it out. Double coverage, but this one is going to be tipped right to Gibson. He's in for the touchdown. It'll be 6-0 if the PAT is no good, but don't worry. Wayne County, they come back in the second half. They win this game 14-6, the final.
The Chevy Tailgate Tour is brought to you by your local Chevy dealers.
All right, well, Thomasville would be at TA Wright Stadium to take on the Cadets. We're going to start things off. The Cadets throwing the ball deep. Here's Brad Stewart into double coverage, and of course, he's going to get the touchdown. Benedictine up 7-0. Then back in the red zone, handoff goes to Chance Jackson, showing that he's for real, breaking all kinds of tackles. He gets in for 6. It'll be 14-0 Cadets. Even more from the Cadets, but this time on defense, as Phillip Burke is going to force the fumble near the goal line. Bulldogs, however, would recover. Later on, Thomasville's James Davis back to return. He's not going to be able to handle this one. The Cadets will recover, and they have just 3 yards left to score. So they hand the ball off to Chance Jackson. He's known to pick up 3 yards or a lot more, and he's in as well. Here he is for the touchdown. It would be 21-0 Cadets. They didn't stop there. John Kennedy on the jet sweep, and he does his best Deshaun Jackson impression. He's going to take it all the way down the field. Look at this, even number 1, the quarterback, getting a block in at the end of the play. That run is good for the score. The Bulldogs go home with their tail between their legs. 35-0. Benedictine wins. Well, Bacon County taking on Brooks County tonight. The Trojans squaring off against the Raiders. First drive of the first quarter, Brooks. The Raiders on the 20-yard line. The handoff to Devin Wims. He's going to take it up the left side, and he's going to be in goal line. Then it's going to go to Amon Brown, and he's in for the touchdown. Bacon now on their own 5-yard line. Quarterback number 3 takes the snap, and then he's going to air it out to Tron Folsom, who makes the catch at the 50-yard line and takes it the rest of the way. A 95-yard touchdown pass. Brooks County is going to beat Bacon County in this one 24-17, the final, and the action doesn't stop there. Chelsea McDonald joins me now. Chelsea made a nice little drive to Sylvania.
Yeah, about an hour. Yeah, that isn't too bad.
That's not horrible.
Not bad at all. Screven County taking on Monticello. The Hurricanes had a tall task against the defending region champs. This entire season, the 9-1 Gamecocks have been dominant on both sides of the ball. But will they stay on fire? Let's pick things up in the first. Screven County strikes first in the first. Donta Wilburn fires a laser to Brandon Waitley. That's a 9-yard completion. The Gamecocks will go for it on 4th down. That sets up a quick sling to Tavares Johnson. He finds a hole and goes nearly untouched to the end zone. The Gamecocks get on the board first, 7-0. The Canes have an answer. Sophomore Matthew Lawson will turn on the speed, running like he's late for class, and shakes off a few defenders while he's at it. He returns it 70 yards before Screven County brings him down, but all of that hustle will be for nothing. Screven's defense proved to be too tough for the Canes, so the Canes gave them a taste of their own medicine. Wilburn scrambles before he coughs up the ball. Monticello back in business. Quincy Standifer will fight his way to the end zone. The next play, the Canes will tie it up with 11 minutes left in the second. Now, that was all the scoring in the first, but I got to show you this one. Wilburn showing off his arm. That was a 42-yard completion, but the Canes were able to block the attempted field goal afterwards. Nonetheless, the Gamecocks advance to the next round of the playoffs. Stephanie, they win 20-14.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Chelsea. Some other scores today. Bryan County, they would lose on the road 53-28, the final there. Appling County, they go on the road and they beat Peach County 14-7, the final in that one. Some other scores, Liberty County, they go on the road and they fall 46-12, the final. Glen Academy, look at that close win. They would win in overtime against Drew 35-34, the final. And we have a lot more of the Frenzy when we come back. Dave Williams will be here as he made a trip to Vidalia and Pinewood Christian. Also, we head out to the Low Country for Richland Hardyville's big game. A lot more as the Frenzy continues. Stick around.
We're the Appling County Pirates, and you're watching the Frenzy on WJCL. Go Pirates!
Welcome back to the Frenzy, powered by Savannah State University. I'm now joined by the road warrior himself, Dave Williams. And today, Dave made a trip out to Vidalia, a little short trip.
Yeah, a little short trip. Well, so right, Stephanie. In Belleville, it was round 2 of the GISA State AAA playoffs, with Pinewood hosting Westminster. But first, let's begin in Vidalia. That's where the undefeated Indians begin their playoff journey, welcoming Berrien to the reservation. And Vidalia's offense was a juggernaut from the start. On their third play from scrimmage, it's Terrence Gillis finding his way to the payoff past their 7-0 Indians. More Vidalia offense on their next possession. They were a well-oiled machine. Jordan Black calls his own number. He's touchdown bound, 14-0 Vidalia. Berrien, though, finally answers. Quentin Taché with a short TD run, 14-7 Vidalia, but there was simply no stopping the Indians on this night. Dedrick Johnson on 3rd and 5, he will have the long gainer. This would take him all the way down inside to the 20-yard line. Jordan Black, well, he would then take care of the rest of the yardage. He will be off to the happy hunting ground. 21-7 Vidalia at that point, and they go on to win 57-35, the final. Meanwhile, over in Belleville, it's round 2 of the GISA AAA playoffs. Pinewood hosting Westminster. Pinewood led 20-9 at halftime, but that changes on the second play of the third quarter. Westminster's Josh Woods hooks up with Michael Almond on the long TD strike, and just like that, it's 20-16 Patriots. Pinewood tries to get something going on their first possession of the half. Brentley Hagan swings it out to Joshua Barnard, and he picks up some nice yardage. The drive, though, well, it would come to an end when Hagan's pass will be picked off here on the near sideline, over here on the far sideline, rather. Pinewood's defense, though, they return the favor. They will swarm the Westminster quarterback. He's got a whole host of defenders chasing him. Pinewood will move in on the GISA AAA semifinals with a 41-23 victory. Stephanie?
All right, we continue with the GISA Memorial Day, taking on Briarwood. Memorial Day would have the first week off, so they are back in action, the Blue Thunder. We're going to start things off with Irvin Riley. He's going to break some tackles here and gets a nice pickup for the Blue Thunder. Later on for the Blue Thunder, McKinley Habersham. He's going to find a huge hole, and he's going to take advantage of it all the way to the house for the score. Memorial Day takes the lead. Then Briarwood, they would be driving. Tyler Johnson with the carry, but he's going to be stopped short. Briarwood does punch this one in, but Memorial Day, well, they punch a ticket to the next round. They win 29-12, the final over Briarwood. And Ridgeland Hardyville in South Carolina. Ridgeland in the second round taking on Loris. We start with a big tackle here. by Jordan Hemingway as the defensive game gets started. Then Loris with the ball as Ridgeland shows off its defense, can force a fumble as well. Here they are with the big hit and getting the ball to pop out there. Ridgeland Hardyville will fall on it. Next play for Ridgeland. Loris is going to match and face the fumble, and they're going to get the recovery as they return the favor. Loris takes over. Just before halftime, Loris gets a big play from Demetrius Hemingway, and he goes into Ridgeland territory to help set up a touchdown catch. It will be 7-0 Loris at the half, and they go on to beat Ridgeland in this one, 14-6 the final. Well, we have a lot more Frenzy coming up right after the break, so stick around.
And now for the Frenzy, powered by Savannah State University. You can get anywhere from here.
Welcome back to the Frenzy, once again powered by Savannah State University. Well, the big guy, he's in Maryland probably eating some crab cakes right now, but we'll check in with him on the big matchup between Georgia Southern and Navy tomorrow.
After about an hour and 15-minute flight, the Georgia Southern Eagles arrived here in Baltimore, Maryland, as they get set to face Navy Saturday afternoon at 3:30 down in Annapolis. Of course, Georgia Southern heading into this matchup, riding that big win streak in Sun Belt Conference play. Just 2 games left for the Eagles. They take on Navy Saturday, then they'll have an off week, then they'll finish things up where they can wrap up an undefeated conference season when they take on Louisiana Monroe at Paulson Stadium the Saturday after Thanksgiving. Of course, Georgia Southern and Navy meeting for the second time ever. Last time out up here in Maryland, Georgia Southern would fall to Navy 13-7. Eagles looking to get a little redemption this time around. And of course, the big storyline here, the top 2 rushing teams in the FBS, Georgia Southern leading college football, and then you have Navy just right behind, about 35 yards per game behind the Eagles. So this game could move pretty fast. Again, Georgia Southern 8-2 on the season, looking to move to 9-2. Navy with just 3 games left, they have just 4 wins. They need 2 more games to become bowl eligible. Georgia Southern hoping they'll have to win those 2 games after Saturday. Reporting in Baltimore, Maryland, Frank Sulkowski, WJCL News, working for you.
Okay, well, of course, I have highlights of that game tomorrow on WJCL News, but next week we're going to have Class A playoffs. They get underway. Christian Heritage at Calvary Day, and then St. Anne at Savannah Christian. And then also we have ECI taking on Mount Zion, Jenkins County at Hawkinsville, and Dooley County at Claxton. That's all next week as the playoffs continue. Of course, we're going to have even more highlights and games, so we'll see you back here next week. But for now, I'm Stephanie Farad. Thanks for joining me tonight. See you back here next week for The Frenzy.